Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now you can open public hearing, Mr. Mayor.
Public hearing is open.
Greetings, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Fritzine Jarbath. I'm the current president of the Haitian Lawyers Association. A lot of you may not know me, and I am not 100% caught up on all the issues that may have led to this particular item being placed on the agenda. I appreciate Councilwoman Keys for explaining some of the issues before us. I'm currently on a maternity leave, but I felt very strongly about this, so I decided to come out. And I wanted to show my support. I believe that based on her record, she's been the city attorney for the past 6 years. Based on her record and the things that she's done, it reflects that her contract should be renewed. I mean, while she has been a city attorney here, she's done countless of things. Some of the things that I can mention is the fact that she's worked on the, worked on the Biscayne Landing. She's worked on that, and that's something that's been in works for a very, very long time. It was very difficult, very time-consuming, and it's something that I think every resident here knows about. And it was her role in that was key in making that happen. She's also spearheaded and successfully rewrote the charter, which needed to be rewritten, which is, again, part of her job responsibilities and duties, but she did that very well. And I think, again, her record here reflects that. I wanted to also mention that she's well respected by her peers. She's a good member of the Florida Bar. And again, as an individual and as a member of the Haitian Lawyers Association, which she was also past president of, which she did that very well as well, I would like to show my support in the city opting not to terminate her contract and renewing it, and letting her termination, if that may come to a point, be for cause. Thank you.
Good evening, members of
Good
the
evening.
council, staff. My name is Dottie Joseph, and my address is 11925 Northeast 2nd Avenue, right here in North Miami Beach. First of all, let me just say thank you
What?
because
You said
sorry,
nothing?
North Miami Beach is where I work, so I'm used to saying that. Please forgive me. Right here in North Miami, raised here, spent a lot of time here. I understand the concern, and I just wanted to point out that if you look at the provisions of the contract, it clearly stipulates that there's 3 months. It's not 3 months today. 3 months from March 12th is not 3 months from right now. To the extent that it needed to be addressed today, I understand there might be some additional issues looming. It might be helpful to address whatever those underlying
There is no issue. Our next council meeting is in January.
No, I understand. I'm just saying to the extent that there are other issues precipitating this, it might be helpful to address those underlying issues. Not right now, whenever you deem appropriate, but in the public.
I think we should stay at the issues at hand. We should not be injecting any presumption or assumption of anything.
Of course.
Let's stay within the subject, please.
But of course,
Well,
I'm
yeah.
saying to the extent that there are such. If
Yeah.
there are none, then there's nothing to address.
There are none.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
let's not start any.
Okay, Mr.
Okay.
Mayor, are you going to permit me to speak, or should I
Yes,
just...
go ahead.
Okay, thank you kindly.
Yeah.
As it pertains to the provision that allows for 90 days, I think it's only fair to allow somebody, just as she would have to give you 90 days, that you give her 90 days, regardless of if you want to terminate her, if you want to move in that direction. I don't see the reason to address the automatic renewal provision. With any job, you negotiate these terms. To the extent that there are other terms that you would like to negotiate beyond just the termination, well, not just the termination, but the automatic renewal provision, it would be useful to identify those issues so that they can be addressed. So those are some of the other issues I was referring to, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Because she, meaning Councilwoman Keys, alluded to other concerns. That being the case, all I'm asking for is fair notice. I think that's more than reasonable to request in any circumstance because it goes both ways. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Public hearing still open?
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. First of all, I must begin by saying that I'm not here to...
Use the mic.
Hello? Hello? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
good, yeah.
Sure. First of all, I must say that...
Name?
Oh, sorry. Richard Champagne, 11900 Biscayne Boulevard, Miami, Florida. I'm not here to advocate for the immediate termination of the current city attorney or disparage her in any way. And I'm here solely to focus the council's attention on what is the issue here with the city attorney's contract, which is a purely legal matter. And here it is. Now, to the best of my knowledge, there is no similar contract like this by any city in this county, in South Florida, in this state, and in fact, in the entire United States. And here's the reason why no other city attorney has such a contract. First of all, in every employment contract, the employer can always terminate the employment with good cause. Now, in other words, in every employment contract, if an employee does not do his or her job, the employee can be terminated. If an employee does something against the interests of his or her employer, or perhaps gets arrested, the employee can effectively be terminated. If an employee commits fraud or any act of nonfeasance, misfeasance, malfeasance, the attorney can be terminated, or the employee. Now, if the employee has a conflict of interest, the employee can also be terminated. But not in this case, not in the contract the council is currently reviewing. Under this contract, the city cannot terminate the city attorney under any circumstances unless she is actually convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude. So 2 days from now, assuming for the sake of argument, that the city finds out that the city attorney engages in some improper or bad act, perhaps a month ago or a year ago, the city cannot fire her for cause, and the city would have to pay the city attorney for 3 years, which would cost the city approximately perhaps $700,000. And I'm not sure exactly when the city found out about this. It appears to me that Councilwoman is the one who sponsored this agenda item, so I'm assuming that that's something that was fairly recently brought to your attention. Now, I can tell the council that the reason being that we're here today is because the city was not being properly represented at the time that the contract was being negotiated. And another thing that I can tell the council is that in respect to the provision for the actual conviction, I'm going to direct your attention to paragraph 4, the beginning of paragraph 4, where it says that the contract may be terminated by the council upon 90 days written notice to the city attorney. So it has to be a written notice and a duly adopted resolution of the council, which notice shall specify the effective date of termination, which shall not be less than 90 days from the date said written notice is given. Therefore, I disagree with the interpretation of my colleague, Dr. Joseph, regarding the actual notice requirements, because it says that it cannot be less than 90 days, and it actually needs to be written. And not only that, this council needs to pass today an actual resolution approving the termination effective March 11, 2015. Otherwise, we all know exactly what the potential liability that the city faces. Now, I'm not sure that anywhere in this country or any other state, or perhaps even if you work for Google or Microsoft, that you're actually gonna find a contract with a similar provision. And that is because companies, cities understand that sometimes people do all kinds of wrong things, and we're not saying that Ms. Monestein did anything unethical or illegal, but the city definitely needs to have something in the contract to protect its interests. Now, if you do decide down the line that there may have been some ethical violation, and I'm not saying that that is the case now, the city's hands are pretty much tied. There's nothing that can be done. Because if we look at paragraph 4C of the contract, it clearly says, and there is absolutely no ambiguity, that the city attorney is terminated for cause which shall be defined as fraud or conviction of a criminal offense involving moral turpitude. That's what it says. Now, the third reason I would submit to the council that the city was not properly represented is because of this automatic renewal provision. Nowhere else in this country would you see this automatic renewal provision. Now, that's why we're here at the last minute, where we actually have to do something to protect the city's interests. Now, I'm not sure exactly whether the city attorney herself did notify council. I'm sure that the question was asked of Mr. Etienne, but the reality is we need to do something about this today. Now, it's important for the council to ask itself, how in the world did we end up with a lopsided contract that exists nowhere else in this country? It's also equally important for the council to ask itself why it has the contract with the only with the only employee in the country that can never be terminated without a conviction, not even an arrest. No matter what the person does. If a council member does something here, I bet money. If you're indicted or something happens, the governor is going to intervene. Nowhere else in the country does someone have a similar contract. Now, it's also important for the council to ask itself why it has the distinction of having the only employee with a lifetime contract and in reality, assuming that the contract is automatically renewed today. Now, given the seriousness of this automatic renewal provision,
60 more seconds.
sure, I'm not quite sure exactly why even Councilwoman Carol Keys is the only one who sponsored it. I'm not quite sure whether it's because of some rule
Because she's a
limitation.
lawyer, I'm not.
No, I understand. It may well be that you weren't aware of the situation as well. Now, since the council is now aware of this flawed and lopsided agreement, it has a responsibility, which is to effectively terminate the agreement. And we're not asking to fire Ms. Monesteem. All we're saying is that we need to terminate the current agreement because the city has to protect its interests. And there's only one way that it can be done. We have to pass a resolution today with the effective date of the termination of March 11, 2015, and a written notice needs to be given today. Now, I must say in closing that no one is entitled to lifetime employment, not the President of the United States, and certainly not any city employee.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. The public hearing is still open for anyone who wishes to be heard. Going once.
Good evening. For the record, Mario Apollon, 1525 Northwest 124th Street. Unfortunately, I don't have the full details of the agreement, but I would hate to see that there are some issues that the residents are not aware of it. For the legality of the agreement, I understand that if it's a 90 days concern, that we feel that it's going to renew. But if it's on base of performance, or I don't see why the city was not the issue now. The city was not being represented at that moment, because I remember that the time that they agree on the contract, every single council member praised the contract. I don't know if the council members were aware of the final agreement, or the city manager only, because I don't know I'm not in public administration, but I don't see why now it's such if it's such an important issue, why that at that last moment that it's being discussed now. As a resident, I'm concerned about that. As a personal friend that I know reason for a long time, I know that there is no full how to say that, lifetime employment. But I also believe that the city needs qualified employees. If the job is being done, I don't see why that it's a concern that it shouldn't be renewed if she's performing, if she's representing the city's interest. And I hope that if it's going to if the agreement is being adjusted, but not to terminate a contract, because I feel like that the residents are being represented legally. Thank you.
William Previtel, 119.
I believe Miss not Montgomery. I was going to call you Miss Montgomery. Ladies should always be first in there. What's wrong with you, man?
Okay. Good evening, Beverly Hilton, 12495 Northwest 6th Avenue. We rely on the council to protect the citizens. We do not want to end up in another lawsuit. In the past, we have paid thousands of dollars to city managers and other officials leaving our city prematurely. And in light of this, I want to thank Councilwoman Keys to bring this out. We do not want to have someone to hire someone lifetime and automatic renewal. I hope you all correct this evening and thank to the person who, I didn't do my homework because I rely on the council to do that. So in this, to hire council and city managers. So please correct this situation for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
William Prevotel, 11950 North Bay Shore Drive. I thought the points that were brought up by this gentleman earlier were quite remarkable, quite noteworthy, and I would like to thank you for bringing those to our attention. And I wish that type of scrutiny and attention was given to every contract that the city has, whether it be employment or land sales or other service contracts. I'd like it applied all the time, please. And this is not personal, please. It's not personal against our current city attorney, but if that is the prudent course of action that we should be taking, and to possibly adopt a more standardized form of employment, I'm sure everything would go along fine that way rather than leave us to additional exposure or complications down the line. So I'd like to see us, rather than the unique contract in the country, I'd rather have us be in that 80-90 percentile range of contracts that is more workable and really fair to everybody in protecting the city as well as our employee. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Kenneth Each, 776 Northeast on 25th. I thank God I was a police officer for 33 years and not an attorney, because I don't know where we're at with this. You know, very simple thing here. If we're looking at renewing a contract, if the city attorney agrees to waive the renewal provision, then we could renegotiate the contract in January. And that's a very simplistic way of doing it. She agrees tonight to waive the reemployment option, and you start renegotiating in January. And that's without the benefit of law school, thank God.
Thank you very much. You had enough, man.
No,
We gave you 6 and 7 minutes. We'll take the last one.
Annie Montgomery, 2082 Laurel Lane. I totally agree with Kenneth Each. I feel if our city attorney will agree to renegotiate the contract, I don't think there should be any provision in it at this point to eliminate our city attorney. I think I've attended most meetings. I didn't always agree with her decisions. I think many of them were political, but I don't think she should we should keep her as our city attorney and renegotiate the terms of the contract, because it seems like the contract wasn't really clearly read before we agreed to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Montgomery. The public hearing is now closed.
If we let one person come back and start again, we have to let everybody come back and start again.
No, it's not a debate. It's not a debate. No.
Procedurally, if we let one do it,
We
we
gotta
must
let him
let
talk,
everybody
yeah.
do it.
Mr. Mayor.
45 seconds. Yes.
But then we have to let Richard have 45 seconds.
I'll give Richard 35 seconds. He's a man. 35 seconds.
All right. Reiterating what I started off with before, if that particular provision, meaning the automatic renewal, is the concern, I'm just encouraging you for fair notice. So if that and any other provisions are bothering you, just articulate it and negotiate it, as opposed to moving for a termination right now. I understand that something needs to be done, but if you renegotiate the contract or the provisions that are at issue, then that can be addressed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here's the issue that we have. It's not that anybody wants to terminate Ms. Montesteem. It's just that that's the only provision that the city has under the current version of the contract. That's the problem. And Mr. Montesteem is well aware that A court is powerless to rewrite a contract to make it more reasonable or advantageous to one of the parties. That's Fernandez versus Homestar, 935 Southern 2nd, 547, 551. Courts are powerless to rewrite contract or interfere with the freedom of the contract or substitute their judgment for that of the parties to the contract. It's well settled. And if we look at the provisions of the contract, it says that paragraph 15, the provisions of this agreement constitute the entire understanding between the parties. Paragraph C, page 5, no alteration, modification, or amendments to the terms of this agreement shall be effective unless contained in writing and executed by the city and the city attorney. That means even if the council wanted to give the option of modifying the agreement or renegotiate, it cannot do under the current terms.
Thank you very much. The public hearing is now closed. I don't know why anyone would have any idea that we came here tonight to fire Madam Attorney Regine Moni's team. That has never been the idea. But of course, rumors, can spread very fast. As a matter of fact, if I go out there and say that I'm giving money for people to just go run on Biscayne Boulevard until they get tired, people will probably come. And whereas it's just a rumor. And the reason why this item is on the agenda is simply to address the issue, at hand of the automatic renewal. And it says it very clearly in clause number 3, the term of the contract shall automatically renew unless the contract is terminated by council. The contract is not being terminated. The contract is expiring in 90 days. There is a difference between expiration of a contract and termination of a contract. I am not an attorney by any means, but I know that termination does not, expiration of a contract does not constitute by any means termination of that contract. It's being expired. So if a contract is being expired, it behooves us. When I was knocking on doors, one promise that I made to every single constituent is that, and I took that oath on November 12th, that I will defend the interest of the city of North Miami and the state of Florida. So we on the council, it is our duty, first of all, to defend the interests of the city and its residents, to see to it that we make decisions that will contribute not to its detriment, but rather to its well-being. And we love the Madam Attorney, and I trust that she's done a wonderful job. She has not been involved in any, she's not, as far as I know, she has not been called downtown for unethical behavior. And I don't know that she's been indicted for anything. I don't know that she's been involved in any malicious activities that would contribute to the shame of the city. So the only reason why this item is in the agenda today is because we want to make sure that this contract is actually, that we go back maybe to the drawing table and sit down with Madam Attorney here, and maybe she will ask us for less money. Maybe she will be generous enough and decide, you know what, Doc, you know what, Council, I don't have a need for that much money. You guys can just cut it in half. You never know. She might say that. And I think this is the road that we are taking. We are simply being, we have to be civil. We have to understand life is not as complicated as we make it. It is our emotions that usually get in the way and make us behave like uncivil people. We are a civil society. Before we act on emotions, we are too deep in our repertoire of wisdom. And that's what we fail to do most of the time. And that's what creates a lot of the animosity that we see in our society today. That's all I have to say.
That was your quote?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Mayor, is it your suggestion that we officially allow the contract to expire and renegotiate a newer contract over the next month, couple of weeks, 6 weeks?
Whatever, yeah.
And
So, Madam
I-
City Attorney, what is the legal ways to make sure?
You may certainly renegotiate my contract prior to March 12th, 2015.
March 11.
March 11th, 2015.
But in order to do so, we have to vote on an amendment of Section 3. The
Yes,
last
you can,
sentence
you can,
said-
you
we have
can
to do
negotiate the
that.
terms
In
of
order
the.
to renegotiate that, actually I'm going to make the motion and to withdraw the second sentence where he said the term of the contract shall automatically renew unless the contract is terminated by council member. That's mean that will be my motion. Then we can renegotiate
I second that.
because we need to do that in order to start
Any lawyers
renegotiate.
wants to work for free tonight?
We're almost done.
We can't amend a contract unless our attorney agrees to the amendment.
I agree. Thank you.
Okay, so we don't, so are we comfortable that we do not need anything else in writing or resolution memorializing the fact that we are going to go forward and renegotiate the terms of your contract?
Correct. Thank
She's
you.
on record.
Okay. Okay. And
Do we have to vote on it?
You
We have
can't
to
say
vote.
that you weren't given legal notice by our attorney.
No, I cannot.
Mr. Clerk,
There was a motion and a second.
There's a motion on the floor. Now, your motion was to remove a particular section. Can
the
you read
second,
section? Can you read it for the
section
record?
3, where he said term,
The last sentence.
where he said the last sentence. Oh, you don't have it.
Michael,
he said
come
the
on, you
term of
gotta
the
get a
contract
copy of the agenda in
shall
front of you.
automatically renew unless. Are you?
Okay, this is what I'm saying. All right, Councilman
You have
Councilman Bieneme, can you just state your motion on the record and read the language from the contract? So we
Okay.
can have it? That's what.
My motion is to withdraw the second sentence of section 3, titled term. Remove it completely where it said the term of the contract shall automatically renew unless the contract is terminated by council pursuant to section 4 below.
Got it. Okay, so right now we have a motion on the floor. The motion is to amend the current contract with the approval of the city attorney, which she approved on the record. Motion is made by Councilman Bieneme, and the motion is section 3 of the current contract to eliminate portions of section 3 of the current contract. And the verbiage, the language that is being eliminated is the following. The term of the contract shall automatically renew unless the contract is terminated by council pursuant to section 4 below. That particular provision would be stricken from the current contract. That is an amendment. It was approved by the city attorney, and that motion was seconded by Councilwoman Steril. Anyone wishes to record a no? Item passes 5-0, so effective now, this contract has effectively been amended to eliminate that language.
Yes.
So the contract stays in effect through March 11th.
Yes. No, we're gonna.
And we
can open negotiation now.
Yeah, now we can open negotiation. Now, do we have to make any motion to give him a task to the manager to start negotiating with the city attorney?
No.
It's early. You still have 4 months.
We have 4 months. We don't have that. We have plenty of time.
Okay.
Do we need a formal amendment to the contract, an addendum, or?
What is it?
No,
What
we
would that-
already
What would
did.
that be?
Why do you say you have 4 months?
Because
The
you
only
don't-
problem now, it's because of that language. We said if we don't make a decision right now,
Right.
the contract will be automatically renewed.
Okay.
Now we're changing that language from now until March
So
11.
it expired March
We
11.
can negotiate and bring it on a new contract on the council.
So,
Is-
yeah,
If
via-
that's what it
via-
is, Madam City Attorney, since you are you are our own attorney and you are ours as well, so help us.
Yes, that is the amendment, and we can certainly put that in writing as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
So via this vote tonight, we're effectively letting your contract expire in order to negotiate a new one, but the obvious intent is not that we're trying to let you go, it's just to comply with legal language that we let it expire to negotiate some new terms.
Correct.
Oh, I'm still,
Yes.
You're still the
tab
mayor.
R.
so, Mr. Clerk?
Tab R, discussion regarding hiring a public relations firm to handle the downtown redevelopment plan.
Well, actually, it's not downtown redevelopment plan.
What is it?
It's supposed to be to handle the rebranding campaign for the city of North Miami, including but not limited to the redevelopment plan.
Huh?
Hmm?
Yeah, well,
That was a mistake. That was a.
I can just read the tab as it was posted on the agenda. So that was the tab, but obviously you guys can correct.
We can just amend it.
Right.
Okay.
All right, that was the tab.
so what is this? What is it?
Public hearing.
It's a, why you guys open public hearing and discussion?
Yes, William Prevotel, 11950 North Bay Shore Drive. Geez, I'm up here a lot today. I'd like to speak in favor of this proposal, and I'd like to also make the suggestion that possibly, since this is a proposal that reaches across the board and assists many businesses, many residents of the city, I think it should be highly regarded. In contrast, we have a program that is sort of a facade renovation program, for which we give sometimes $100,000 to an individual, a private owner, and therefore it only goes to that particular property. And I think that has been at the detriment to our city. I'd like to see any funds that are put into the city and enhancement of the city go towards programs such as this, streetscaping, landscaping, common elements that everybody can appreciate, where everybody's property value and everybody's usage of the city is enhanced. So thank you for considering approval of this, and from possibly in the future taking money from facade renovations and individual gains. Thank you.
Good evening, members, Mr. Mayor, Council. Philip Brutus, 1125 Northeast 125th Street, Suite 250. I'm here to speak in support of this public relations plan, but I also would like to remind you that we do need a local preference, minority set aside, because we had a situation in the city where a lot of money have been spent on outside vendors with not a dime going to anybody in the city, or anybody who's Haitian American, anybody who's from the Caribbean, anybody who's a minority. So that would be unfair for a city whose population is comprised of a number of Haitian Americans and other ethnic groups. So therefore, if we're going to spend money, the city's money, we need to make a set aside that the city residents or people who work in the city, who have business in the city, benefit. Because at the end of the day, the people who elected you, they pay taxes, ad valorem taxes, water and sewer for your operations to go through. So I would say it's a great idea to sail the downtown issue, to make sure people latch onto it and then make it happen. But we need to preserve. I know set-asides have been ruled unlawful by the federal courts, but we can do a SBE, a small business component. We can do a minority component, whether it be linguistic or ethnic, but we need to make sure that everybody gets a piece of this action. Now, if it's a public relations firm, it might be some big company out of Wall Street or Madison Avenue or LA or Chicago, but they need to understand if they're coming to get a contract, there might be some other people who are also involved in public relations that need to be part of this package. Like the county does it all the time. You're bidding, you have a major, you have a sub, and the sub is a minority. So we need to do this so all the residents of the city can benefit and feel that their city is working for them not to take their money and take it out to folks who don't live here, who don't work here, who don't spend money here. They get their money and they go spend it in Miami Beach or downtown or Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach or Deerfield Beach, and then we're still here saying what's happening. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's great. I'd encourage that you support it, but please make sure there's a component. That company comes in here, they don't just bullguard into here, take everything and say, okay, thank you very much, you're dummies, I'm gone. We need to make sure that people here have a stake in this action. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Evan Ross, 1941 South Oak Haven Circle. I'm going to agree with most of what Representative Brutus just said, but disagree slightly. In looking at your potential for downtown redevelopment, there should be, and I believe will be, tremendous opportunities for people within North Miami to benefit from it on the development side, on the construction side, as well as on the retail side as the project goes forward. But being in the public relations business, I can tell you that when you're taking on something this large, you want to hire the best. And whether the best is located on 125th Street in North Miami or in Fort Lauderdale or somewhere else, you want to hire the best to do this job. There's someone sitting in this room tonight who has demonstrated to your city at a time of need the care that they have for this community. When your crisis began with the now former Mocha board, Tom Malzoom from the M Network and his firm stepped up, originally without compensation, to help this city and this museum deal with a tremendous hardship and to navigate a very challenging situation. I'm sure that this will end up going out to bid, assuming that the council decides to move forward with hiring a public relations firm. I can assure you my firm won't be bidding on it. I have no stake in it. But you have someone here who's not only demonstrated the care that they have for your city, but they've also demonstrated an incredible
Are you
professional
lobbying
ability.
now?
Huh?
Are you lobbying?
I know, right? I am not lobbying. I don't represent anyone. But you have someone who's demonstrated a care, and you have someone through their work, not only with MOCA, but with organizations like the Miami-Dade County Homeless Trust, as well as a number of corporate clients. They've demonstrated that they have an incredible expertise. I have no stake in this whatsoever, but I'd encourage you to keep that in mind as you move forward.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, and you the sponsor of Decide Them, when you're talking about hiring a relation firm for the downtown, you talking about someone or a firm that can go and even in China and sell the downtown.
Yes.
It's someone that can drive and bring investment in the city. We're not talking about something only about Florida. We're talking about a firm that can go into China, to Japan, and sell the downtown, then bring money to the city.
Yeah, you hit it right on the. Yeah, you hit it right on the nail. I mean, most of you heard my speech when I was being inaugurated, and I pretty much started with the slogan, North Miami on the move. We are on the move. And in my conversations with the city manager every day, we always talk about the other communities or the other municipalities being revamped, being renovated, and why not the city of North Miami? This is 2014, 21st century. We are on the move. We are being redeveloped. We are being restructured. So therefore, it behooves us as a council to take the leading role in doing so. I mean, I've traveled to many countries and go to many cities, and I see cities that are 40, 50 years old, and they far be ahead of the city of North Miami, which is in the heart of the USA. And I don't think we should stay behind. And yes, you are right, this firm that we are intended to hire, this firm has to have the zeal, the vision that we do have to take the city forward. And we know in the past few years or months, the name North Miami has not been well received. So we need, that's why we need this rebranding campaign. That's what we're calling it. And the company we are going to hire is going to have to really step up to the plate and bring us to the next level. and I'm sure that the city manager shares my vision on that, and I am convinced that Mrs. Number 4 will be with me on that as well. This,
I vote we just change our name to Aventura.
I turned off a long time ago, so.
So yeah, we are moving forward. So we are on the move, and we're getting a company to help us bring, I mean, sell North Miami,
Are you making a motion
at an
to-
international level.
Are you?
We still have public hearing. We have Mr. Kaya here. You can't.
Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the Commission, I think this is one of the best ideas coming from North Miami. And I have to say that this is what you call leadership. Every cities, major cities in the world, might it be Paris and might it be San Francisco, they have it in their budget. And I think that would be a disservice to the city of North Miami and the resident not to have it year round. You have to find a way to put it in the budget, and you have to do it every year. You sit down in an hotel in Tokyo, and you open your TV, and you see the advertised city of Miami. They don't say Dade County, they advertise Miami. They advertise Miami Beach. You go downtown Miami, and you see this large billboard. They talk about Santo Domingo. They talk about every places where it's important. You turn your TV, you see they talk about Jamaica. I think we as a city should not just use the money from the budget or from wherever you're going to get it. You should put the Greater Miami Convention and Bureau, which collect money from the hotel and the restaurant. You should force them to have the segment bringing the fact that North Miami is on the move, the crime is definitely much less than it was 15, 20 years ago, and you have different projects coming on. They have a ton of money, so it's just a matter of telling them, hey, you are paying their salary and you are contributing to that. So Greater Miami Convention and Bureau should step in and bring some of the money in order to help the city here, which is such a great city. Again, congratulations. This is one of the best ideas that I've seen coming, that you, the leaders, wants to showcase your city, our cities. Thank you again. Good job.
Thank you.
Public hearing is now closed.
Public hearing is closed. My council members. Nothing, Mr.
Is it your intent that we direct staff to put out an RFP for a company? Is that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm supportive of that. Good idea. Just as long as it's not considered that we change the city's name for real. No, honestly, and I'm not saying that to be funny. I've had people suggest that to me, and I don't support that at all.
Changing
So just,
the name of the city?
Yeah, there were people that wanted us to change it to Town of Arch Creek, City of Arch Creek. I'm not saying that to be joking. I've literally had people suggest that to me over the years, so as long as we're not going down that path, I'm cool.
What if they suggest Calvin City?
Because they don't want it to give it a bad name. And one thing let's get rid of, City of Progress is also the same slogan that the city of Hialeah uses. It's
On the move.
No, they're on the move.
whatever it comes back with, as long as it's not, again, City of Progress, because we're, it's like the Houston Oilers using the Miami Dolphins theme song all these years. Right. You've ripped it off from us. Quit. So we ripped it off from Hialeah.
So, are we gonna discuss on?
So it's a complete rebranding, I'm assuming.
No, but
What's
how
the
many
logo?
times are we branding?
We
This
just
is for
did the
just
logo.
downtown.
That's a public relation.
Yeah, the motion was simply a motion by Councilman Galvin to put out an RFP to hire a public relation firm. That's all I have so far.
Yeah, but what it be?
No. The other amendment was in a rebranding of the whole city of North Miami, including but not limited to the downtown redevelopment plan.
Okay, so what is that?
But no, the way it was written as the rebranding of the downtown redevelopment plan. Instead of saying downtown redevelopment plan, it would say the rebranding of the city of North Miami, including but not limited to the downtown redevelopment plan.
What does that include? I think we just did that a couple of years ago.
We did just
what is
redo
that?
the logo and
We
all
did the
that.
logo.
Okay,
we
so
did
what
the-
would
we
that
did the
include?
logo.
That's not changing the logo. This is just a marketing
Yeah.
That's
firm going
marketing.
to.
Okay,
this is
though,
just
that's
marketing.
marketing.
They don't have
That's-
to change any logo.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Can we be specific? Because when
That's why
when you
I'm
said
asking.
Yeah, when we say
What
we
is it?
bring in,
It's-
we
it's
bring in,
more-
it's like more logo, names, and things like that.
May I make
No,
a
I-
suggestion?
Sure.
If we say as is, that's the motion to hire a public relations firm. Once the council vote to put out that RFP, and you can direct staff as to what exactly you want
You
that
want, that's it.
particular firm to do, and they can include everything you want to include. But if you narrow it now because you're voting on this, it may limit your options in the future. But if you keep it broad, then you can tell them what you want.
It's a marketing
But
firm.
no, but
Yeah, that's a marketing
No,
firm.
no, that's
They
wrong.
can do whatever you want them to do.
Mr. Clerk.
Usually, when you're doing something new, you want to bring something new to the table, you have to come with an actual term. The word public relations, every company has a public relation for a company. The reason why I came up with the term rebranding is to put in people's mind that, okay, North Miami is being rebranded, so something new is happening. So we are on the move. It's just a mind thing.
Right. So it's the rebranding of the city of North Miami, including but not limited to the downtown redevelopment.
No.
Yes.
Yes or no?
That's not. I'm hearing.
let me erase all this.
Mic is off. But
What
what
is on?
I'm hearing. I'm hearing two things. You can you. I'm hearing rebranding. I'm hearing public.
What?
Local preference minority.
It says kick me.
Can we? If we go out there, if we vote on rebranding the city, we go out there and publicize that as that, you're gonna get something totally different than a public relation. Because from what I understand, that the mayor wants, it's the downtown. We need someone, a firm, to go and sell our cities and sell the
Advocate, yeah.
comprehension plan, the downtown whatever plan, and to bring developers to come and build, to spend money. That's what I'm hearing.
It's more than just
So
a public
it's
it's more than just public
Can I
relations.
finish? So it's not rebranding the city. If that's what about rebranding, that's what I understand.
Rebranding and marketing.
Rebranding and marketing. That's
Whatever.
if you want to make it.
So,
more
and how much
comprehensive.
money that we
We don't know.
Is it an
RFQ will
RFQ
tell
and
you.
RFP?
Yeah. RFQ.
An RFQ.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but we said an RFP before.
An RFQ.
Is it an RFQ?
We'll get
or
it.
Q.
It will be an RFQ because we
It'll
don't
be
know
an
how much
RFQ.
money
How
we're
much
gonna
it's gonna
spend.
be.
We don't know.
So-
We don't even know what we
So
want.
we request increase.
Okay, so I need a
Of course
motion,
you know what
guys.
we want.
I just put out an RFQ, and mayor or whoever's making the motion, can you just give me the language you would like me to write?
Okay, to put out an RFQ.
Put out an RFQ.
A
Rebranding and
for rebranding
For rebranding
Rebranding and marketing.
and
campaign.
marketing
and marketing
of the city of North
Of
Miami
Of the city
of
Miami.
the city
What
of
is that?
North Miami
with an emphasis, but
With-
not limited to the downtown redevelopment
an
plan.
emphasis,
Down. Beautiful.
but
Not-
not limited to
The downtown.
the downtown redevelopment.
It doesn't have to be a firm. It can be a person, as long as that person has experience or whatever.
Okay, so the motion made, okay, this is the motion the mayor just made. Motion Mayor Joseph just made was to put out an RFQ for the rebranding and marketing of the city of North Miami with an emphasis, but not limited to, the downtown redevelopment. That's what I have.
Redevelopment plan, yeah.
Redevelopment plan.
I'll second that motion.
That motion was seconded by Councilman Galvin. Anyone who wishes to record a no?
No.
Who said no?
No, no one wishes.
Gotta watch out. See, this is why you should
It's
say
11:20.
all in favor say aye, all opposed say nay. Because officially, everything we keep approving that way never got approved because nobody ever voted in favor.
That's got tricked. So
So, I guess all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All
All opposed say nay.
It's okay. He said aye. Don't worry.
Okay,
She
item
said aye
passes
for her.
5-0. Motion was made by by Mayor Joseph. It was seconded by Councilman Galvin. Item passes 5-0.
Citizens forum? Open?
Closed.
Citizens forum closed? Oh, it's open?
Yes, there's so many good things this evening. I'd just like to clarify, if I may, from earlier, was regarding the master plan. And if I may use an analogy, if I may use on this occasion a medical analogy, imagine yourself being on a sort of an island, possibly 60,000 people, and you see around you complications, medical complications around you. And you know through your scientific training and through your experiences that there are vaccinations that could address all these problems. And you keep saying, oh, hey, we should take this vaccine and we can resolve this, and we could eliminate so many problems. And unfortunately, that's the frustrations I've had so often with some of the issues that have come up in this city, particularly with Biscayne Landing. And even though the one measure that was voted on tonight was defeated, the second measure that the Planning Commission reviewed last Planning Commission meeting was denied by the Planning Commission. And about time. It was that we were trying to send a message that we must stop the abuses that have gone on in terms of this project. It is really filled with elements that are similar from 2 years ago, where we have project-type housing, where we have barrack-like retail that is inevitably going to be outlet shops. And if I may bring to your attention particularly, at the 59-minute mark, despite these valiant efforts on the part of everybody to say, oh, if we give in to them, if we give in to them, if we give in to them, we're going to have condominium, high-rise luxury condominium housing. And you'll see that at the 59-minute mark, and I'd like everybody to take note of this, please, that the developer had said they will be building rental buildings. It will be rental buildings for 2 or 3 buildings until they then sell them. So again, we've been fooled. And at every step of the way where we think we have something and we don't have it in writing, we don't have anything in writing, do we, that says hey, this is going to be a condominium, it's going to be for sale, even though all of us assumed it's not the rainbows and lollipops and unicorns. We keep on getting the short end.
Okay.
And I'd like us to please be vigilant going forward and not further, compromise our city. We're not getting anything that we thought we were getting. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, good evening. I'm so happy to be here tonight. My name is Eunice G. Marie, and I'm representing a local nonprofit. Tonight I'm here to request your involvement in a project that we're embarking on. It's called Bringing Books to Life, the Alice in Wonderland series. And what we're doing is we have a local church that's letting us use their land, and it so happens to be in North Miami, and that's why we're here tonight. And we want to ask the city to involve themselves in this. And what we're doing is we're taking this, I want to say exhibit, but we're taking this event to different parts of the city of Miami-Dade County. And we're actually bringing the books to life. So when the kids walk into this space, it's going to be life-sized things out of the book Alice in Wonderland. And the initiative is to foster a love of reading again in kids, and also to give them the experience of what they're reading, so that way it builds comprehension. I had the pleasure of meeting with Lakeview Elementary, which is the school that's a couple of blocks away from where we're actually doing the event. And it was very disheartening to hear that 90% of the population of that school are Haitian Americans, and Lakeview Elementary on and 115th, I believe, yes, and only 30% of them can read on grade level. And so I'm asking the city to join us in getting the children excited about reading again. That day we're also going to have workshops for the parents, because that's another problem that the school is having. I believe maybe it's the language barrier. I'm so sorry. The language barrier where the parents, maybe they don't have the skills or the knowledge or the know-how to show the children how to read. It's not just reading a book, but also pointing to the words, learning syllables and phonics. And so we want to bring that to the community that day, and we're doing it February 21st, 2015.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is very interesting. I hope that you keep us, either bring some kind of formal invitation to the council.
And how would I be able to do so?
Right here.
Contact Katya.
Right here on the second floor.
This young
Katya.
lady right
Okay,
here.
okay.
I am very interested.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Public forum is now closed.
Is
Are
it
we still
still-
going to
it's
do council
Beverly, I
report?
think wanted to talk.
Oh, Miss Montgomery? No, Miss Hilton.
Beverly.
Miss Beverly Hilton.
Get my name already. It's all right. It's okay.
Gonna keep doing that to you.
Yeah.
Until you vote for me.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Beverly Hilton again, 12495 Northwest 6th Avenue. Three things I have in mind. First one is regarding the walkway around Pepper Park. A resident asked me to ask about the update on that, to see where we are with the track. Second thing is that parcel of land on Northwest 17th Avenue and 135th Street, next to the center. I would like to see, I don't know what plan you all have for it, but I would like to see something like townhouses or
Housing.
yeah, for not low income housing, now for senior citizens.
or
Low
senior
cost, yeah,
citizens.
for
Yeah, workforce
senior resident, something built there for maybe when I'm tired of working in my yard, I want to sell my house and I want to live somewhere where the place, is taken care of. Third thing is, I'm not an attorney, but I'm speaking as a resident, and I don't want to see any more lawsuit around here. The provision regarding the attorney, I have nothing against her. I think she's doing a wonderful job. But can she recommend, can she represent herself and the city at the same time? Isn't that conflict of interest? Making asking question and answering for the city and for herself at the same time? Because in the contract the gentleman mentioned, it says no amendment to that contract, if I'm not mistaken.
No, we're going to renegotiate the contract. That's what we're going to do.
Right, but I'm saying she answered the question for herself and for the city at the same time.
Yes, she agrees.
We asked
No,
her
that was a
question.
question. We asked her the question, not city representation.
Right. But, okay, as long as it's okay, that's all. So,
Beautiful.
so you can answer the question regarding the track and thank you very much.
Ms. Beverly want to know if you want to build not affordable, workforce housing.
I will on my I know we talked about that on
Yeah.
mine. This is one of the things that I wanted to bring before council for discussion. Is to I know what you're talking about. It's on Pepper Park, the remainder of the land, which is about
Right,
13 acres
right,
left
correct.
that has been there doing nothing.
Right.
But right now it's zoning as PU, which is public use. This body up here has to change the zoning to make it residential. And one of the things that I'm extremely concerning about, I don't want to encourage to have affordable housing just
Right.
to create another chaos for the
No.
city. So I will bring it up, and if it's the desire of the council, it will be. I would suggest to have townhomes.
Yeah,
where
nice townhouse. Yeah.
workforce people can actually stay there and
Right.
make it a gated community or whatsoever have you.
Right.
But we will discuss it.
Okay.
And thank you.
Thank you.
You're not the only one.
Oh, great. Also on the track.
Yeah.
Because she's
Ali-
watching.
Ali-
She's watching at the right now.
Yeah, we did talk about it. The city manager next council meeting will
We'll give you
give us an update about
Okay.
it.
Thank you. And good
All right.
night.
Thank you very much. The council reports. Who wants to start?
I just want to just move forward. Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you so much to staff and all our sponsors that actually help us raise money. And to it was a very nice event. The holiday celebration that we have been doing in the city for everybody in the city, for, not just for District 4. And again, as you guys know, part of this event, we also collecting a lot of toys. The city did not have to spend no money to buy those toys that I will be taking to Haiti. Again, on behalf of the city, FedEx sent those toys to Haiti for us against this year. So I can't wait to go and distribute the toys myself. I talked to Mayor Jeudi, which is our sister city, that we will be going to different schools to distribute those toys, and we have a couple of other cities that we will be going as well to distribute the toys. I have been having different, that conversation with different people, not just in my district. As you can see, Beverly is one of my constituents. I talked to other constituent on the other side of the city, I would say the east side of the city, that showed interest of seeing the remainder of the land that we have in Pepper Park. I know that is concern. I know that would probably a Scott concern, and that's my concern as well, because we have been talking about we don't have enough park land. We don't have enough park in the city of North Miami. Fortunately, this is not the case for District 4, and I would say we are blessed to have about six park in the city, in the district alone. And Pepper Park is one of the largest park in the city. I think it's what, 30 acres? Yeah. By around 30.
Not only the city is one of the largest in northern Dade County.
Okay, 30 acres, and we have been, I think, occupied 15 acres, and we have about 15 or more. We have about 13 acres that has not been doing anything, just sitting there. So, as the representative of the city, I'm not asking council to vote on anything right now, but I'm asking council to consider the discussion by January to bring a resolution for us to take into consideration to have workforce housing, or to rezone it instead of PU, public use, and to do it what, residential? What would be the correct word for residential?
Residential, yeah.
So that
Multi-family residential.
What is it, multifamily or residential? So that will be the discussion for the next council agenda. And again, thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for being a good fruit so far, and we appreciate the fact that we still, being civilized up here. You give us, if you did not make it as a doctor, I think we would be a good comedian. So keep it up, and thank you. Thank you so much. This is it for tonight. It's 11:35. My husband just texted me come home. So sorry, guys, I have to leave.
So you talk to me. Number 4 talks, so number 3 doesn't need to talk.
Nah, he supported me tonight.
No, I just have some appointments to make. And city clerk, when can I make it now, or you're gonna come? You're gonna come with it in your report?
Well, it's up to you, but you remember the paperwork that was dropped off to you guys
Yeah, I got
last
it.
week?
Mhm.
All you have to do is hand this to me with the names you want, and I can just read it into the record.
Okay.
Okay, so we can do it next
Okay.
year.
No.
January.
I want to
You can
do
give
it
them to
tonight.
me anytime.
Just you can give it to me anytime,
Yeah.
and then what I'll do the second I receive it. So we did drop this off. We kept our word.
What you mean?
Fortunately, Stephanie did a great job. All you have to do is write the names here,
Mhm.
give them to me, and I can read them into the record. That's all you have to do.
Okay, I have the application with me.
Oh.
I need it today.
Which one?
For which board?
Right. Which one?
Yeah, I have Dana Magloire, Fenelon, in the application. You have it in the packet.
You still have to put.
You have only this.
You have to put it
the
on the
applications.
You didn't put it on this?
You give it to me.
No, he
The
give it to
department
everyone.
give me all the
Okay, it's fine. We'll do what you want to do. This is my question. Do you have one of these?
planning. Yeah.
Okay, where is it?
I said planning and board of adjustment.
Michael, you're not on the microphone.
Okay, just give me the name.
Yeah.
Is that important to you guys tonight? It's
important for me.
11:35.
But people been saying that we couldn't get quorum on the board. That's when we need to take
Which
care
board
of
is that? Which board?
It's,
Board
I
of
have
Adjustment?
one person, Dana
You
Magloire,
can give them to him during the
for the
week.
Board of Adjustment and the Planning Commission.
Do your report, just give it to me. My report, I'll read it in for you. It's at my bill.
No, I don't have a report. That's all I want to do.
Okay, so this is the name?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll take care
We
of
have
it.
two.
And we appoint all my boards members.
We have here.
Okay, guys,
we have-
listen.
here.
Wait. I made this clear last council meeting. This is what makes it chaotic. This is why you have this here. A lot of boards, a lot of names need to be reappointed. This is why you have this copy, and it was dropped off last week. All you have to do is include the name.
We don't want to do it.
But this is the problem. If you don't do it, you're not going to have an appointment.
Schedule it on the agenda early. Put it on an agenda early. Don't wait till it's at the god-awful hour where we're all tired to now. So put it on agenda early.
That's a good idea because what Councilwoman Stero just said is important because she's going to be, if she reappoints everyone, those people were already appointed, but they're not showing up, and that's why you don't have quorums. That's why when you understand? So Bien-Aimé is already, he know what he wants to do with his appointments, but I'm going to encourage everyone because Bien-Aimé have a lot more appointments to make. This is why we took the extra work to give this to you.
I'll give you mine tomorrow.
Just write it in, give it to us whenever all the names are filled out, and we'll take care of it from our end.
Sounds
What
cool.
do you mean?
Like I said
We
last
have to
council.
vote on it.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I'll vote on it during my report.
Right now?
I'll vote on it during my
Oh,
report.
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so no more report. You can move on.
Okay. After the
Councilman
reports, it's
Galvin?
gonna-
Thank you. I'll be very quick. I want to say thank you to Babacar and Bao and everybody at MOCA for an absolutely fabulous Basel kickoff. Karen Mills Francis, one of the new board members, along with Grey Goose and Bloomingdale's, really came through as sponsored to make sure that we had an event that everybody would be truly proud of. So I say thank you to all of them. Guys, hey, Michael, Philip. Little, thank you. For those of you who are in the holiday spirit, by the way, happy holidays, everybody. This is the last time we'll be meeting in the year 2014. Anybody who's interested, come on by Enchanted Place, Northeast 137th Terrace, for the 26th year. All of the homeowners have kicked in to help put up white lights and other colors sometimes in all of the oak trees. So if you've never been down Enchanted Place, it's 3 blocks between 16th Avenue and Biscayne Boulevard with the little turnaround roundabout of just great Disney-like holiday lights. So come on by Enchanted Place. That's Northeast 137th Terrace, east of 16th Avenue. I want to note on a sad note the passing of Eileen Cubias, who was a member of our library board for 4 decades at least, probably more. Eileen passed away this week, and those services haven't been announced yet. We certainly send our sympathies to her family. And then finally, my last item of the evening, I'd like to nominate Dottie Joseph to the Board of Adjustment, where I have an opening as a result of Michelle Garcia's resignation when she moved. So I nominate Dottie.
I'd second that.
We're going to do the votes. We're going to do the votes during my
Fine.
report. All you have to do is just write it down, give it to me, and I'll take care of it. Thanks.
That's all I got, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Well, let me give you.
Me, moi.
Councilwoman Keys.
Councilwoman Keys. Thank you. Sure.
Well,
Sure, I'll be happy to give my council report, Mr. Mayor.
go ahead.
I want to echo Councilman Galvin's sentiments and condolences on the passing of Eileen Kubilis. She was a library board member since its inception in 1963. So, very sorry to the family. We'll miss her. And on that, just happy holidays, happy New Year. We'll see you next year. We'll still be working, just because we're on recess. It is for me.
We are meeting?
No, there's no meeting.
I won't be here.
Do you want to have a meeting on December 23rd, Councilwoman?
Go ahead.
I think since I've been here, we never had a meeting. The last meeting in December has been. And I will say that as part of my review. There's no meeting December 23rd. The next meeting would be January 13th.
Thank you very much, everyone, and I want to thank my staff for still supporting me and for making everything possible for me, for giving me coffee when I come sometimes, and and also thank you everyone, especially for the Art Basel, Mr. Babakar. You are the bomb, and also our ceremony for the key to His Majesty Namika Achebe. It was a very well received ceremony. I thank everyone for showing up and for making it a success. And I think we had a wonderful week of Art Basel because of our new director, and it was well attended. And happy holidays and happy New Year, Merry Christmas. Share the wealth, share the health, share everything that you have, be it a smile and a hug or a kiss to your neighbors. Thank you very much.
No.
Clerk's report.
Okay, Mayor, we have a couple of appointments to be made.
Here.
I'm going to read out all the appointments that were made. And
Here,
Councilman
I
is
have
just
one.
going to vote. You have some as well?
I'll give you some more.
Okay. Okay, so now we're going to start off. I'm just going to read it all into the record. We have it written down because every council member gave me their respective sheets. We're going to start off with Councilman Bieneme. Councilman Bieneme have appointed Donna.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before the, I forgot something very important. You know, the Haitian Doctors Association, they're having their annual gala, the 20th annual gala, and I believe there is a request for purchase of a table, which the manager is aware of. Normally, if it was less than 1,000, we wouldn't bring it for a vote, but I believe it's what? How much is it?
$1,350.
$1,350. $1,350. So. Okay. You want to vote on it? Okay. Roll call.
What was the motion, Mayor?
To purchase a table at the Haitian Doctors Gala on December 20th.
At what cost?
$1,350.
The Haitian Doctor
Association.
The Haitian Doctors.
Aye.
Aye.
I can't. I need a second. I'm sorry.
No, it was seconded by Councilwoman.
Write it down.
We got to get you to focus, Michael.
No, you guys.
You added an hour to tonight.
Okay. The motion was made by Mayor Smith, Joseph. And that's two. I got to read it on the record. To purchase a table at the Haitian Doctors Gala at the cost of $1,350. That motion was seconded by Councilwoman Steril. Anyone who wishes to record a no? Item passes 5-0.
Thank you. Thank you, Katia.
Now the appointments. Councilman Bieneme made an appointment. He has appointed Donna F. McGlure to the Board of Adjustment Board. This appointment was made today, 12/9/14. And he also appointed Donna F. McGlure to the Planning Commission Board. And this was Councilman Bieneme.
You can't be on both boards according to our ordinances. You cannot serve on both the Board of Adjustment and the Planning Commission.
I'm sorry?
You cannot, we've had that as our rule going back many years. You cannot sit on both the Planning Commission and the Board of Adjustment. It's one or the other.
Let me look at that and advise. Are you referring to an ordinance?
We've had the issue come up in the past with people who are serving both. You cannot do both. It's one or the other. Two quasi-judicial boards.
Quasi-judicial boards, I believe. They're both quasi-judicial.
Okay, so at this time, Councilman Bieneme is just appointing Donna McGlure to the Board of Adjustment Board. That's the only appointment Councilman Bieneme has made today. Councilman Galvin have appointed Dottie Joseph to the Board of Adjustment. That's the only appointment Councilman Galvin has made today. Councilwoman Keys have appointed Rosaline Phillip to the Board of Adjustment. have appointed, that's funny, she appointed herself to the North Miami Chambers of Commerce Floodplain Management Planning Committee Board. I'm just reading her appointments. Carol Keys. Carol Keys have appointed Inez Couch.
I don't know that she
What
can,
did she
a member of the council.
Are you
can serve
talking
on
about?
one.
Oh, I thought. Go ahead.
Would you also please check to see if council members can serve on these boards?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we had looked into
But
that
That's
previously,
an
but
appointment
I'll
by
look.
the chamber, so contact the chamber.
Okay.
I'm willing
I'll
to-
check.
So we're going to remove Councilwoman Keys' appointment at this moment. Councilwoman Keys also appointed Inez Couch to the Library Board. And those were the appointments Councilwoman Keys made.
Just one, the floodplain management board, as long as you live in the floodplain, which Councilwoman Keys is living, resides in the floodplain, she actually serves on the board as a resident.
But this is the problem. It's if the appointment is to be made by the North Miami Chambers of Commerce, they're supposed to make that appointment, not Councilwoman Keys.
Okay.
So we'll receive something from them through the liaison, and when the liaison submit her name, then we'll bring it before the council.
Right. On that board, there's 2 residents actually who live in the floodplain that has to, have to serve on the board.
Got it.
And that's a criteria.
Yeah. All right.
I just noticed that I expired, so I went ahead and
That's cool.
we'll have the chamber contact you.
So, Mayor Smith have made the following appointments. The Affordable Housing Advisory Committee appointment, Patrick Mayan. The the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee, Patrick Profit. These both appointments was made today. Business Development Board, Mayor Bien-Aimé has appointed Jean-Marie Gardy-France. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mayor. Mayor Joseph has appointed Jean-Marie Gardy-France to the Biscayne Boulevard, on the, a Biscayne Boulevard appointment. Have appointed Patrick Mayan to the West Dixie Highway appointment. Have appointed Patrick Mayan to the Central Business District appointment. The appointment for this section. But this is what they represent. So we're going to make a quick correction. I'm going to repeat Mayor Joseph's Business Development Board appointments. Jean-Marie Gardy-France will be appointed to the West Dixie Highway Corridor appointment. Patrick Mayan will be appointed to the West Dixie Highway Corridor appointment. And that's it, right? Because you can't, you put them twice. So those two, moving right along.
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow.
All right, though that completes or concludes the appointments Mayor Joseph made.
Mr. Clerk, okay, how would I know if because you don't have no attendance here, how would I know if a member has not been showed up in meetings?
What happens is the liaisons, again, we don't show up to the meetings. We have board liaisons. The board liaisons will keep track of the attendees.
No, I'm saying here, the list that you give me, for example, the
We don't have that list. The board liaisons have that list.
Okay, so
Move approval of all names submitted as a slate in a.
Can we do yours tomorrow or next council meeting?
problem.
Okay, so right now, may I have, okay, I have one more.
No, I don't have no vacation.
Okay, so good. May I have a motion? No, we need a vote, man.
Motion to approve all names as submitted.
Okay, motion made by Councilman Galvin, seconded by Councilwoman Sterrin.
And it's
Anyone
passed
wishes the
5-0.
record to know? 5-0. That concludes the report.
Thank you. Madam Attorney?
Thank you so much, Council, for your leadership and confidence. I appreciate that. And have happy holidays to everyone. Thank you.
Mr. Manager?
Just two things. I just would like to thank or actually congratulate Tanya Wilson Sejour, my planning director. The city was just nominated for an award by the American Planning Association. A dinner is scheduled on Thursday at the award ceremony. I think the mayor and I will be attending on behalf of the city. I'd also like to thank the city attorney for, trying to help us execute those two major contracts. I think within the next week, we should have the MOCA contract signed and settled, and also the Biscayne Landings agreements. Tomorrow, we have scheduled from 1 to 5, I believe. Hopefully, everything should be settled and agreed upon. So those two big issues have already been, So by the holiday season or by December 25th, we will have two major contracts settled and the city moving forward. Thanks.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
When is our next meeting date?
January 9th.
January 13th. 13th. It's right, 13th, yeah. I'll talk to them.